You're listening to Liberty Lampoon, episode number 19 with Aaron and Michael. Hey, welcome to Liberty Lampoon, where we lambaste politicians, public figures, policies, and print. All from a libertarian perspective. And this week we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Actually, very interesting stuff, kind of laid back. I guess this is like right before the New Year's for some people. Happy New Year.
Right after Christmas.
Yeah, right after Christmas. Hey, you know what though? Just before we get into everything, I feel like we should just go ahead and get this out of the way. We're on some radio stations, and we recommend that people go listen to those radio stations. IPMNation.com, FPRN.com. And there's also LRN.FM. Go check them out. We are on all of those. If you'd like to find all of our stuff, you can go to LibertyLampoon.com. That's where you find all of the Lampoons.
LibertyLampoon.com.
Yeah, and consider becoming a patron, but we'll talk about that later. Ooh, right? Ooh. Hey, so I wanted to tell this story. So yesterday, I was going to take my son to go see Santa Claus.
Okay.
You know this story, Michael.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you in person. It's a little bit different.
I don't know it though.
Yeah, so I was taking my son to go see Santa Claus. We decided to take him to the Bass Pro Shop. We get there, there's a sign on the door. The sign on the door says that Santa is booked until he's been booked up since 4 p.m., so you can't get in to see him. And I was like, wow, Santa has time to fly around the entire world and leave presents for every child, but he can't listen to every child at Bass Pro?
If that doesn't sound like the government, I don't know what does.
Yeah, what a piece of shit, right? Sneaking into people's houses? Anyways. So we decided to go to this other place. It's kind of on a rich part of town. It's called Utica. And we go there because they got Santa there. And I'm like, oh, God, this is going to be terrible. We get there and you got to stand out in the cold because he's got his own little hut.
Yeah, his own little house.
Yeah.
The Santa house.
Yeah, the Santa house. Well, it's not really a house. It's more like a hut.
Well, I mean, someone could live in there.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so I've been feeling I should mention I've been feeling weird for the last few days. And pretty weird, pretty sick a couple of days, and then just weird.
Are you gonna tell the people why you've been feeling sick? Well, not really. Oh, okay. Well, go ahead.
It's not because of McDonald's, if that's what you were gonna say.
Oh no, I was gonna say because your wife's been pegging you, but.
Oh, we're gonna leave that in. If you don't, Michael made me look up what pegging was, so look that up. We're libertarians, not libertines.
It's why Aaron has a leaky asshole.
Yeah. Okay. So you just gave away the punchline.
Oh, sorry.
But
go ahead.
Yeah. So I do have a leaky asshole over the last couple of days. Very leaky.
Okay, well, tell the story.
Okay, so anyways, I'm my son is he's kind of going off the walls. There's kids playing around these rocks and stuff, and so my son's keeps running around. He keeps looking in the hut. He sees Santa in there, and he's like, "Santa, look, Santa!" And I'm like, "Yeah," and he's like a 2-year-old. So
he's like a 2-year-old, or
he is a 2. Well, he's not 2 years old. He is literally like a 2-year-old because it is 1 month before his birthday. And his social security number is. Anyways, so, I start feeling weird. And I'm like, I got to fart, and I'm like, oh, no, that is not a fart. I feel like warmth. I didn't shit in my pants at this point, but it was I could feel the heat, coming
seeping down your ass crack.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
Oh,
it wasn't. It did not make it to my cheeks.
Well, that's good.
So I'm like, oh my God, I really gotta go. And so I asked the guy, my wife's been talking to this guy in line with his kids and his wife.
Oh, you didn't tell me Lacey was there.
Yeah,
oh.
Of course she was.
Okay.
And he's like, you can go over there to Walgreens if you need to use the restroom. I'm like, okay. He's like, it's in the back of the store. So I'm like, okay, well, I can't, if I leave, get in with Lacey, she'll have to get out of line to go chase him down, or he'll start screaming. So I'm going to have to take him with me because it'll probably be interesting. So all right, I got him. And I take him and we're walking to Walgreens. He starts crying for his mommy. As we're getting in there, we get in there. I'm clenching my ass together. and I got to walk all the way to the back. There's stairs back there. And I'm like,
you have to go up or down?
down.
Oh, okay.
And
At least it's not up.
no, that's worse because like every step, it's like my sphincter is loosening, and and I get down there, I get into the to the bathroom. There's a door, and it just opens to the store, right? So I walk in there, close the door. It's one of the push buttons. That means when you twist the knob, it just unlocks.
Opens, yeah.
So I get in there, I freaking slam my ass down on the toilet seat and just start spraying that toilet, dude. Like, it is loud.
All hell breaks loose.
Yeah, all hell breaks loose. And my son, like, I've let go of my son at this point. He turns around and goes and grabs the doorknob. I'm like, no. And I see him, he's like, Mommy, and then looks towards the door. And so I have to stand up and grab his wrist. I grab his wrist and like pull him towards me like as gently as I can, but he does fall to the ground because I slam my ass back onto the toilet seat and spray that freaking toilet, and get my son is like just sitting on the floor, and he lays down and starts screaming for his mommy, and I'm like, the people out there must think that I'm like a rapist or something. They have no idea what's going on in here. You know, I could just be some vagrant off the street who picked up a kid, dragged him into a freaking bathroom, and is doing God knows what. All they hear is mommy. That's all they're hearing. They have no idea what's going on in there, you know?
Oh, sweet Mary.
Anyways, so yeah, that happened like 3 or 4 more times. Anyways, then we get out. I go back to the line. We go see Santa. My son, who was originally excited to see Santa, now sees a 400-pound man who probably cannot move on his own without the help of a freaking wheelbarrow or like a front end loader. and no offense to him, he was a very nice gentleman. He just definitely weighs 400 pounds and cannot move on his own. And so, yeah, bottom line is, my son freaked out when he saw him and decided that he didn't want to smile for the camera. I
wonder why that is. Why do kids get so excited to see Santa, and then as soon as they get up close to him, they freak out?
It's because he's a man. Like when they get around him, they realize, oh, this is just some guy. But because like my son took pictures with the Easter Bunny last year, and those were great pictures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's because it's a bunny.
I have it on my fridge. Yeah.
They don't know that it's a man in there. But with Santa, it's a fucking dude. Like, they walk in there like, wait a second, you're a stranger. I don't know you. I barely like my grandma, you know? So.
Does he not do that? And give him candy canes?
He tried to give him a cookie, and my son never turns down cookies, but my son was like, no! Like, was like, no
Started
way.
Screaming rape.
Yeah, basically. I'm glad he didn't do that in the bathroom, though. Jeez.
You should wait till he gets a little older and he can talk better, and then next time he can scream, "You're violating the nap! You're violating the nap!"
Oh, well, so I didn't realize how long this was going to go, but like we don't really have very much time to talk about our first topic.
Oh. Well.
Huh.
We'll be right back after this.
Oh, we made it back. You know why? Because we're always back to back. Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, so there's this town. We're not going to say the name of the town just because we don't.
X. We'll call it Town X.
Town X is in Oklahoma. It's a nearby town to us.
Mm-hmm.
It's a suburb of Tulsa. We could say that.
Well, yeah, but you don't need to. This is Town X. It's Town X.
It's too late. I already
It's a little town. All right. It's a town near Tulsa. There we go.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, they are in the habit of posting.
Well, okay. So they have a Facebook page.
Yeah, which
it's
already a bad idea if you're a police department.
That is. And then on top of that, on a weekly basis, they post mugshots of people on their Facebook page. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Bad mic discipline, Aaron.
Well, but it's because you're a little quiet. But anyways.
So they post mugshots. And you want to take it from there? Or you want me to...
Yeah, they post mugshots every weekend, and it's like usually victimless crimes.
Mm-hmm.
And because they wouldn't post mugshots of like murders and stuff, I feel like, because they don't happen in this town. You know what I mean? And they just post like...
Well, not since like the Tulsa race riots, but...
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, but then it was the police who were doing the murders. My bad. Anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one woman who she I guess she got pulled over on a suspended license. She had a roach in her car. If you didn't know what a roach was, that's like it's like a little butt like of a marijuana cigarette.
Marijuana?
But I don't think that it had any marijuana in it. I think it just tested positive for marijuana.
Mm-hmm. How did they find that roach in the first place? That's what I want to know.
They searched her car because they totally could, because she was driving a suspended license. Whatever. Anyways, so she she gets her picture in there, and she decides that she's going to go respond to the police. First mistake on her part.
Because fuck the police.
Yeah, don't talk to them. Do not talk to them.
Nope.
That's what every lawyer generally always says, is do not talk to the police. So she posts on the Facebook post that they made and says I can't believe this is BS and these charges will be dropped. I have epilepsy, and if I was in another state over, I would be able to get this medicinal marijuana, and it would be just fine. It's medicine. Well, apparently, in the state of Oklahoma, it is illegal to drive if you have epilepsy. So she admitted to another crime on Facebook, and the police officers, they reposted, like they screenshotted it and reposted the screenshot, yeah. And they were like, hey, we believe in your right to free speech, so if you're willing to admit to crimes, feel free. And then I realized something when they took the screenshot. So not only have they basically this went viral, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Not only did they blow up this woman's life, but they also tried to boost the post, because it says if you have a page on Facebook, it says
that's like a group page, like Liberty Lampoon.
Yeah. No, not a group page. It's just a regular page. It's like if you have a business or something. A group like page is different.
Like Liberty Lampoon.
Yeah, just like our page.
Yeah.
And at the bottom of every post, it says boost. And what you do is you can click on that and you can spend money to basically get it into more people's feeds who don't like your page, basically.
Or who wouldn't see it normally. Yeah.
So it said, if you click on that and you try to boost it, it will tell you, it'll say boosted, or it'll say boost unavailable, because it doesn't meet the standards, which in this instance, it was unable to be boosted because it had somebody's image in it. Somebody else's image. Yeah. And, they did
it's a screenshot.
Yeah. So, so I just thought that was hilarious that, so not only have they basically blown this woman's life up, they also tried to boost the post to make sure that it got seen by more people. You know what I mean? They're like, let's make this go viral.
If they weren't dick bags before,
yeah, they totally are
dick bags now.
Anyway, so I was having the internal struggle of like, oh my God, I want to report these guys for cyberbullying. I mean, even though I don't really believe in cyberbullying,
just to troll them.
Because, hey, make their life a little bit of a living hell. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And, well, it wouldn't really make their life a living hell. It's not really anything. But, so I tried. I really did.
It interrupt their social media usage.
Right.
Of bullying the citizenry.
Yeah. Yeah. Bullying people who commit victimless crimes, because she totally committed victimless crimes, in my opinion. So
citizenry.
Citizenry.
Why can I not say that? Anyways, yeah. The citizens.
Yeah, the citizens of the great city of
Town X.
Local. Nearby.
Yeah, Town X.
So I'm like asking people, like, hey, is this kosher for me to do this? I want to, I kind of want to like get these guys in trouble. And so, I asked you, I asked a couple other people, and they all said, no, it's totally kosher. Do it. Screw them. They're state actors. They're literally trying to screw this woman over, screw up her life.
And trying to use somebody's money to boost.
Yeah, that was what you asked. Like, whose money are they spending to defame? Oh, wait, the same people whose money they steal, they're using to make their lives a living hell. Which we already thought that that's what they were doing, but now they're actually doing it like, hey,
and harass them on social media.
Yeah. I want to.
God bless America.
Yeah, next thing you know, they're going to be paying Trump to attack them,
Well, and
on Twitter.
I think it's fair to note, if you haven't said this already, that all of her crimes were victimless crimes. Now, if she got in a wreck, okay, that would have been, as she hurt someone, that would be a different story. But up to this point,
yes.
Show me the victim, officer.
Yeah.
Where's the victim?
Where's the victim, officer? Ossifer. Show me the victim, Ossifer. Yeah. So, by the way, who is I guess we don't have a board op today.
No.
Poor Greg.
Yep.
Burnt to a crisp.
May he rest in peace.
Last episode.
Yep. You should see our place right now. We got wires going everywhere.
Yeah.
Buttons and lights flashing, and
we haven't had a chance to clean up the human debris.
That was one hell of a Christmas party. Probably the best Christmas party I've ever been to.
Yeah. Well,
it was literally lit, as they say.
Well, it was a holiday party, not a Christmas party.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Whatever.
Technically, it's not even Christmas yet for us when we're recording this.
Yeah. It's close enough.
Yeah. It's December. Anyway, so these assholes, police.
Yeah.
But what can you do? I mean, like, what recourse do you have? Oh, yeah. So I got a message from Facebook because I totally reported them. Mm-hmm. And I got a message from Facebook. It's like, say? This doesn't meet our... here, I'll read it to you real quick. I think that I probably can do that. Okay, so I got a message back. It says, you anonymously reported photo for being annoying or uninteresting. Oh, that's what I reported it for? I thought I reported it for like...
Wow, Aaron.
Thank you for letting us know about this. We looked over the photo, and though it doesn't go against one of our specific community standards, you did the right thing by letting us know about it. We understand that it may still be offensive or distasteful to you, so we want to help you see less of things like it in the future. From the list above, you can block blank directly, or you may be able to unfriend or unfollow them. We also recommend visiting the Help Center to learn more about how to control what you see in your news feed. If you find that a person, group, or page consistently posts things that you don't want to see, you may want to limit how often you see their posts or remove them from your Facebook experience. We know these options may not apply to every situation, so please let us know if you see something else you think we should take a look at.
Facebook experience. You know what that sounds an awful lot like?
What?
Like just like a police reporting. Like like if it was set in Nazi Germany, it would fit perfectly. Thank you for reporting potential Jews in hiding. Unfortunately, we didn't find any, but nevertheless, thank you for being a good citizen.
I think you're using a poor example.
You think so? I'm just trying to use an extreme example.
Yeah, like
an extreme example.
I just got that. Nobody else got that, though. I got it.
Because they're a cult.
Right.
The Nazis.
Yeah, they're a cult. Yeah.
Extreme cult.
Extreme with like an X instead of EX.
A big X.
Yeah, big one. And some Japanese letters.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what we're talking about.
Nah, they don't. No. But it's all right.
Except for one man.
So
I don't know.
So anyway, after Aaron reported them, we had a discussion on whether or not to report them to cop block and all this stuff. But we didn't want to. We came to the conclusion. Well, Aaron came to the conclusion that we didn't want to make this more viral.
Yeah, we don't want to turn this into a much bigger story than it actually needs to be.
Yeah, because fuck those dudes.
Yeah, because they want it to go viral. By like seeing them boost it, that means that they want it to go viral. Like they want
the attention.
If people went on there and started talking crap, then more people on the other side would come and start defending and licking boots hard. Yeah. And like, so that's not something that I really want to happen. That's not something I'm willing to like contribute to.
Yeah.
And so there you go. Bottom line, I still think this chick was somewhat dumb in the way she handled things. Like, don't respond to the police guys. If they post you on their Facebook wall, I would politely ask them to remove it, speak to a lawyer, see what you can do. And actually, you have more grounds to complain to Facebook if that's you.
Yeah, because it's a private company.
Right. So it asks you, are you in the picture?
Yeah.
And so you can you can report it more effectively as yourself.
Yeah, get it removed.
Yeah. I mean, I can't believe that she wouldn't try, but, whatever. So, shit happens, dude. Get air freshener. Screw the police. We don't care.
Yeah.
We don't need you.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll call a crackhead next time. I know they put those signs up, and I'm for real. I'd rather call a crackhead because at least he'll find my bike when it gets stolen. I'll tell him I'll give him some crack. You'll find it immediately, right? You agree with that, Michael? You agree with crackheads?
Yeah, sounds reasonable to me.
I can't remember where I heard that, but I heard that from somebody. I was like, that is a great argument. Oh, so, PD in Oklahoma.
Town X.
Yeah, XPD. Extreme PD. Hey.
You're a bunch of cucks.
Dick bags.
You goddamn
Dick
motherfuckers.
Leaky buttholes like me.
Yep.
Yeah. Cork that shit. Hey guys, we have a Patreon. Go
Patreon.
to patreon.com/Liberty Lampoon if you want to get bonus episodes, access to us. Yeah, anyway, so if you want to get bonus episodes, you want to get access to us via the Liberty Lampoon Contribution Network for people who don't read good. Why is that funny?
Nothing.
Access to our Discord server. Access to early episodes, access to blah, 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 blah. We have a whole bunch of stuff. Go to our Patreon. Check out what you have to donate in order to get those things.
Patreon.com/Liberty Lampoon.
Yeah, do it now. If you don't do it, then you hate puppies and you're in. Okay.
So here's status.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. If you don't become a patron, we'll kill your puppy.
No, that's violating the NAP.
No, it's going to be their fault because we're telling them we will kill your puppy. If you don't become a patron, your puppy will die. It's going to be your fault. So please donate.
This just in. Aaron's a Nazi.
Donate. Please donate. Hashtag please donate to our
Hashtag
Patreon.
Please contribute.
Yeah. Donate to our Patreon or your puppy dies.
You want the corporations to win? You want the Clinton Foundation to win?
You want your puppy to die?
Contribute.
We're not really threatening you with violence.
We are
just
the 99,
your dog.
We are the 99%.
We're just going to kill your dog. Not really. We won't.
Yeah, I'll keep
but
it
we will.
And play with it and love it forever.
Yeah, we will.
Dogs. I love dogs.
Yeah, we'll just kidnap your puppy.
And I'm keeping it.
And sell it to a Korean. And you know what that Korean's going to do with it.
Aaron means it's going to eat it.
That's racist, Michael. I meant it was going to play with it and put it in a dress and take it to shows for dogs. Whoa. So,
welcome back.
So with Russia, okay, everybody keeps talking about how Russia hacked the DNC and
the State Department.
Yeah, whatever. That Russia's doing it's behind all this, and they were trying to influence the election. Yeah, we have yet to see any evidence. All we keep hearing is I keep hearing people talking about how we should believe the CIA. Leftists telling me that I should believe the CIA after the CIA specifically targeted leftist groups less than a decade. Maybe this whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are so many different operations that the CIA has done that are declassified now that are exactly the same as the type of things that Russia is being accused of doing. And then it's like I have zero trust for the CIA, number one.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that I want to say, is that I have zero trust for them. I'm not going to listen to them. I don't know why anyone would tell Donald Trump that he needs to listen to the CIA, because it just seems a little ridiculous to me, okay? It's not like the CIA, I said this a few weeks ago, It's not like the CIA told us that there was weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Oh, wait, it is. They totally told us that there was weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Okay. And how many people are dead now because of that?
Wait,
millions.
Service members or civilians?
Oh, all of them. Millions.
Yeah, there's a lot dead.
Yeah. So anyways, it's just, so don't even talk to me about what the CIA has said until I actually see evidence. I'm not going to believe anything that they say. Okay. Yeah. That's just the fact of the matter.
Even if they do show evidence, I mean, you trust the CIA about as far as you can throw them.
Yeah, for real. Who you can name off all the people who have headed the CIA and say, nope. What, George H.W.? You trust him? Do you?
He was head of the CIA?
Wasn't he? Wasn't he the director of the CIA before he was president? Yeah.
Before he was vice president?
Yeah, before he was vice president. Yep. I'm pretty sure he was. Okay, so there's that. But another thing too is that the Democrats are straight up blaming Russia, like they're blaming these hacks on the reason why this is why Hillary lost. Okay, the problem with that is that for some reason there's this assumption that low information people, like people who don't pay attention, they're making this assumption that, oh, well, then this means that Russia actually hacked into voter machines or something. Mm-hmm. That did not happen. There is no evidence of that, like none. The CIA and the FBI have not even said that that's happening at all. Okay, so that's completely off the table. Don't even think about that. That has nothing to do with anything. But what they're actually alleging is that the way that Russia interfered was by exposing things that Hillary Clinton, John Podesta, all the people within the DNC, all these people exposing the things that they said or did, okay?
Yeah.
So here's the issue with that. If it was business as usual, an above board situation, and the Russians released that information to the people, mm-hmm. Hillary could have won, right? Am I not right about that? It would not have affected the election at all. It's an admission that the things that are on those emails were bad enough that they cost her the election. She's admitting that.
Yeah.
If you say that Russia cost me the election, then you are saying that the things that were in those emails were bad enough that they damaged your image, so much so that voters chose not to select you.
Yeah. So and at that point, it doesn't matter who hacked into the systems.
Yeah, in my opinion.
Yeah. Because the corruption that those hacks reveal, because if you think about it, like, so someone hacks into the system, okay, finds all this evidence, and then they release it to the public, and if a single person had come out with that information, like a whistleblower, what do you think would have happened to them? They either would have been suicided by the Clinton Foundation, or they'd be ostracized and be another.
Well, see, but this is the problem. There is actual evidence out there. There's actual evidence out there that both of them were leaks. There is no evidence from the inside saying that they were not hacks at all, that they were actual leaks. That is what WikiLeaks has said.
Yes.
Yeah, just like my asshole, guys. Deep leakage. Ooh. Anyways, yeah, that was really loud. Look at that.
Oh, sorry.
Wow, those waves are not dank. Okay, so, but another thing I wanted to point out too is that how do you quantify, don't yawn into that microphone. Don't you dare yawn into that microphone. How do you quantify what caused somebody to vote for Trump or what caused somebody not to vote?
Yeah, well, I was reading an article actually this morning talking about how because the Clinton campaign is all upset because they had some of their electoral votes go to other people because because they like one of them voted for Bernie Sanders and some other people voted for some random. Well,
that's what happens people. Whenever you have your spokespeople going out there and saying, hey, you need to not vote. You need to vote your conscience.
Yeah, and now, like, after that happened, and Trump ended up actually getting more electoral votes.
Yeah, I think 2 more at least.
Yeah, and the Clinton campaign is blaming different people and whatever, and the former spokesperson for the Bernie campaign, I can't remember what her name is off the top of my head, but she in her quote, she literally said, "No, they're fucking wrong," and I was like, this. She's telling them straight because she's like, we told the Clinton campaign that they needed to concentrate on the people in the Rust Belt because if they don't get those votes, they are going to lose. And what happened? They didn't concentrate. They ignored the advice of the Bernie.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
yeah, and then Trump won all those states: Ohio, Pennsylvania. So it's there's way more going on than just the Russians hacked into the system and made Hillary look bad and fake news. There's so much more behind that. That those, even if those are true, that the Russians hacked and they made Hillary look bad and the fake news.
But see, if that's what happened,
non-stories.
If that is really what happened, and the Russian hack had a big, massive thing to do with this whole election, Hillary still won the popular vote. So what did it have to do? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, clearly, like there's so many different levels why this is messed up. You know what I mean? Where you can debunk the argument about the whole Russian thing.
Yeah.
And I just think it's a little disingenuous. I'm really tired of this whole red baiting. Like if you can't see that John McCain is kind of siding with the Democrats right now, and you don't think, wait a second, why am I siding with a war hawk?
You don't think same thing with Mitt Romney when that son of a bitch came out midway through the campaign and just made his big ass long speech about bashing Trump and how he's a phony and blah blah blah, and then all the other leading Republicans who are now sucking Donald Trump's dick to get in his good graces.
Yeah, and don't take that. But we always have to say this. Don't take this as us supporting Donald Trump. In no way do we do. Yeah, it has nothing to do with that.
Nope.
But to be frank, at this point, he hasn't done anything to me.
And you call it like it is.
Yeah, and to me, it just seems this is the system that you buy into. Okay, this is the system that you had or have so much faith in.
Yeah.
You know,
if you've been watching the news at all over the last few weeks, and from seeing what Mitt Romney, like his whole speech against Donald Trump, to now like him, I don't know if he's been. I don't think he's going to be picked for.
No, he's not. No, because Kellyanne Conway came out and was like, no, he's terrible.
Yeah, and but anyways, but to see him then turn around, and you know what, if the president-elect, at least go meet with him to hear him out, I guess, out of respect, but but he's meeting with everybody. I mean, look at
freaking Kanye. That was something
Kanye West.
We're actually going into another topic that we had.
Yeah,
but he met with Kanye West, which was awkward seeing him come down the stairs, and he was like, all right, Kanye, I'll see you again later.
And he gives him that sweet bro handshake. And it says they've been friends for a long time.
Yeah, we've been friends for a long time. I think his music is fantastic. I like bitches too. I grab him by the pussy. That's his next single. It's coming out next week. No, he didn't say that.
Doing guest vocals.
Al Gore met with him.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio met with him.
Yeah.
Both of those people are, crazy into climate change.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you didn't know this, is it Melania? That's his wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
She is crazy into the whole climate change thing, too. And so there's some speculation, even though he totally appointed Scott Pruitt for what? Wait, Scott Pruitt got appointed. That's our attorney general here in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
He got appointed.
Head of the EPA.
Yeah. Which is like a total bitch slap, by the way.
Well, I mean,
it is. Don't act like it's not,
no,
because he's in a lawsuit with them right now.
Well, yeah, but to link the EPA with like climate change, like our national stance on climate change, that's two different things. Because the EPA, they're just a goddamn bureaucracy who they don't even.
No. I know exactly what they are. I'm just saying that since their creation, they have been weaponized, to be the climate
EPA.
Change
Police.
EPA police, you know. And so it's just worth noting, because they come up with these things that have affected Oklahoma negatively, which is why there's a lawsuit with the EPA and Scott Pruitt,
Yeah.
Because he's trying to defend Oklahoma, what he thinks Oklahoma wants. He's trying to do what I guess he would think that his constituents want. Yeah. I don't know. We don't support Scott Pruitt. He's a total dick, and he totally screwed up the whole marijuana ballot initiative thing.
Yeah.
So I think we may have mentioned that, but
he's a cuck.
He's a cuck.
Yeah.
But what can you do?
Yeah. So, anyways, long story short, Russia, man, you'd think we're living in the early 1980s again.
We say no war with Russia, dude. Yeah. And if you look at history, presidents who have been light on Russia, since Reagan,
mm-hmm.
presidents who have been like, no, they're not our enemy, those people have won the election. Barack Obama, he said, Mitt, the 1980s called.
They want their foreign policy back.
They want their foreign policy back. And he won. Trump said, no, I think we should be friends with Russia. And he won.
Yeah. Well, because now this, we're coming into this whole new generation of people where, this whole new generation of politicians who aren't quite like more the Gen X
Yeah.
guys, and they're like, you know what? Okay, yeah, Russia was when they were the Soviet Union, they were a little bit of dicks.
Yeah.
They were a big competitor, but now with globalization and all this shit, and the world economy is now more dependent on international trade than ever before. Then we can't keep living like it's the 1980s where America is dominating the world and everything.
That's the whole thing. Like what? We're in like 140 countries or something like that. Russia's in 3 right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you look at a map, I saw a map recently of where we are, like all the countries we're in. We have bases literally surrounding them. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like who's the aggressor? You know what I mean? I'm not. In no way do I support the Russian government. Okay, they have a lot of messed up stuff. And you know who's killed fake news? Freaking Vladimir Putin. Okay.
Yep.
They don't have an independent media there.
Nope. They got state run.
Yeah, they got state-run media, and see how good that's working out. You know what I mean? If that's what you want, then you're just becoming Putin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like there's so many different levels to all this. I'm not okay with saying let's go to war with Russia. Let's get aggressive with Russia. I've seen leftist. I've seen the far right. When I say far right, I mean on the foreign policy scale.
Yeah.
I've seen them banding together, saying that we need to slap sanctions on Russia. Are you kidding me? No way, dude.
You know what I wonder? If Hillary had won the election, how quickly because all of a sudden she would have had to turn around and have relations with
Russia. With
Russia?
Putin.
Yeah. How quickly would she have dropped the whole, the Russians hacked the DNC, blah, 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 blah. If they had won the election, I think they would have just dropped it overnight.
They said that, Vlad didn't think that relations would get good with Hillary. So I had in my head that that she had actually said things that were probably inappropriate to him in the past. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I thought that she had probably overstepped her boundaries before. And that's why he that's why he had this attitude towards her. Although I still don't even think Russia had anything to do. Maybe a Russian did have something to do with the hack. If it's a hack, maybe a Russian did have something to do with it, but I really don't think that it was state sponsored. I really don't. And like with propaganda and all that stuff, well, here's some news to you. Every country does that. Almost every country has a propaganda wing of some sort. Mm-hmm. So it's happening to you on a regular basis.
What do you think the press secretary is?
Yeah, exactly.
That office is literally in the West Wing.
Right. And then meddling in elections, the U.S. has, oh my God, the U.S. has done that. We have puppet dictators set up everywhere almost. Mm-hmm. It seems like. I mean, you name it, we've meddled in everyone's elections.
And then we get upset because someone tries to meddle in ours.
Supposedly. Someone tries to meddle in our election by exposing
corruption
in which somebody was meddling with an election. Bernie didn't win because there was meddling in election. But that's okay because those are our people. Only we can meddle in our election, you know.
But Iraq, you better sit down and shut the fuck up because we're going to tell you how to vote.
Well, and on top of that, like think about this.
Iran, you too. You're getting the Ayatollahs. We don't give a fuck what you think.
Oh, you want to use nuclear energy in order to power your communities? I think that you're trying to build nuclear weapons. That's right. Sanctions. Actually, I think that Donald was probably he'll probably flip the Iran deal. You think?
I think so.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
That might be bad.
Yeah.
I think it might be bad. That was another one. Anyways, whatever. We're not talking about Iran right now.
Yeah.
So you like Mattis? Too late. We're done.
Motherfuckers.
Oh my gosh, guys. If you probably heard this interlude that I did where I played the LP trying to get me to rejoin.
Yeah.
So they're doing a special offer right now where you could do, I think I heard it on like Free Talk Live or something, where you can go to the LP, you can enter in their promo code for Free Talk Live and get a year membership for free.
Into the LP or
Free Talk the LP
Live?
For the LP. Yeah. This is the national party we're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, not like when
so
you
if you're
go,
a nationalist,
No, it's like a national organization. It's private. Okay.
If
it's
you're a
not,
nationalist
no,
libertarian.
hey, they're not nationalists. Remember, they're globalists.
Thanks, Austin Peters, you cuck.
Austin Peterson. That's what I kind of want to talk about.
All right.
So he posted this thing, which, speaking of which, I think I need to go ahead and pull that up real quick.
Well,
okay, so here we go. This is what was posted. The Libertarian Party posted this, and it was shared from the Libertarian Party of Florida, and it's Austin Peterson. It says, globalism is libertarian. Nationalism is not. Globalism means reductions of barriers to trade and immigration. Nationalism means fealty to the nation state. Globalism lifts people out of poverty and incentivizes peace. Nationalism is a catalyst for wars. After all, as Fred Bastiat said, when goods and services don't cross borders, armies will.
Well, I think it's fair to say that Austin Peterson has joined the Illuminati.
Yeah, he is part of the Illuminati. He's right there with Donald
Triangle,
J. Trump.
motherfuckers.
Yeah, and Kanye West. Just took a look at the. Okay, here's some comments. Just take a look at the last 20 years of UN resolutions and tell me with a straight face that globalist worldview is libertarian. Amen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At this stage, globalism is a farce. Humanity is too competitive, and our progress is based solely on the competitions of nationalism. The U.S. landed on the moon just to beat the Soviets. Assembly line was devised for auto manufacturers to outcompete competitors. Education was started to teach people to read the Bible so they could snub on Catholicism. Competition breeds progress. This is why nationalism will beat globalism. Okay, let me see if I can find some really angry things that people have said. Can you believe this shit? They're starting to sound like progressive liberals living in their perfect world. Maybe. From Merriam-Webster, a national policy of treating the whole world as a proper sphere for political influence. I mean, I guess one world government would or could be libertarian, but I won't hold my breath. That's a good one. That's a pretty good one.
Did you already read the one that mentions the UN?
Yeah, I already read that one.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite ones.
Globalization and globalism are different. Globalization of the economy is perfectly fine. However, globalists want more centralization of political power, which is the exact opposite of libertarianism. Now, look, here's what we've said over and over and over again. Well, maybe we haven't. Maybe I've said it.
Okay.
Reducing it to a smaller and smaller size is the only way to move forward. As far as I can tell, globalization is like...
Globalization?
It's centralizing power even more.
Yes.
So the way that
on a worldwide basis, right? So I already have a problem with the federal government, but if I were to be like, oh, the best way for us to defeat the federal government is to make an even bigger bureaucracy that's massive. You want to see a form of globalization? Look at the military. They have all their installations around the world, right? And they get their marching orders from Virginia. Well, technically from, I guess, the White House, but from Virginia. And as soon as something comes down, boom, it happens the world over. And
and it's just, to me, it's just kind of like it's a whole thing of like, we need to be reducing the size and scope until it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Yeah. Take another step down. Yeah. So I think that like we should disengage from the global scale and move to the state or to the federal scale, then to the state scale, then to the individual scale or county, whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, so globalization or globalism, is, to me, it's not the same thing. Like whenever I say, because I think we might have a disagreement about borders, but just humor me for a second.
Okay.
So whenever I say that I want open borders, I'm not saying that I like globalism. I'm saying that people should just be free to travel. Okay. That's like my opinion. Okay. And I'm saying that it's good for free trade. Whenever I say that we should trade with other foreign countries at not at an equal level, but at free, you know what I mean? Like we're not there's no barriers or anything to trade. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I want globalism. I'm saying I just want free trade. You know what I mean?
Well, see,
it's not the same thing.
And I think I could be wrong here, but I think of it like all these treaties and stuff like that. Like to me, if you think about them as like just personal relationships, like I don't have like a signed agreement that stipulates that my friendship with you is the same as my friendship with our friend John. right? Or
right.
Adrian from Nerd Shit.
Yeah. Who will, by the way, we'll be doing an episode with
next week.
Next week. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but we had like each relationship is different, and it's its own entity. And so if I wanted to, do a Christmas gift exchange or something like that with you, all right, this is really dumbing it down, but
which we won't. We're not doing that.
Do one with John, but not one with Adrian. Then I am allowed to do that.
Right. Exactly.
And so that's kind of how I view the world market. Like each country should be able to trade with each country.
Right. There shouldn't be all these crazy treaties going on, which, as far as I can tell, that's how globalism is working. It's like a whole bunch of random intermingling treaties that make no sense at all and actually have created conflict. You know what I mean? Why does Russia feel so like aggressed against? It's because
they get left out.
They get left out. But not just that, there's alliances of people who are making treaties with one another, like the European, or not the European Union, the
UN? The
UN basically snubbed them, you know what I mean? And they're like, fuck you guys, and like withhold money from them, okay?
Yeah.
That's why, in my opinion, globalism is stupid. Now, they're doing that because they think, oh wow, look at Russia. They're wanting to be a nationalist society. Okay, well, let them be a nationalist society. If they want to do free trade, let's do free trade. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Let them trade with whoever they want to trade with. Them restricting trade, like if the UN decides to restrict trade between Russia and the US, that is globalism, maybe. But it's wrong, isn't it? Wouldn't you say that that's wrong?
Yeah, I agree with
because
that.
It is coming from a global centralized power that's coming down. You know what I mean? So anyways, we're getting away from off topic.
Our original topic was the national LP can have lost their minds.
Yeah, and like, so we need to look back at something. What happened with Gary Johnson and Bill Weld?
They're fiascos from the get-go,
and they weren't libertarian.
Yeah, and it only goes to show that Ron Paul actually got an electoral vote and Gary Johnson didn't get any. So what does that say about, one, are the nominees of the Libertarian Party, and two, the organization of the party itself?
Yeah. Now you do have to kind of mention the delegates too, because there's a lot of delegates in there, from what I understand, things that I've heard from the inside, that are people who...
From the inside. From the Russians, he means.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because apparently the Libertarian Party is totally just Russian propaganda tools.
Yeah.
So, fuck yourself.
They may be tools.
You piece of shit.
They may be tools, but not Russian.
No. Well, are we talking about Gary Johnson and Bill Weld?
Yeah.
They're definitely tools.
That's what I'm saying.
They're tools used to ram up each other's assholes. They're walking dildos is what I'm trying to tell you. That's right. And actually, at this juncture, because of my leaky asshole, I could use one. Not really, guys. Please don't quote me on that. It's on the podcast. It's going to get aired in, every country in the world, but it's okay.
Anyways, back to the Libertarian Party.
Yeah, not shoving things up my asshole.
Anyways,
I really have bad diarrhea, guys.
Anyways, Aaron, shit, dude.
Yeah, shit. Saying? It is shit.
No, what were you saying?
No, I was just saying that so Gary Johnson and Bill Weld were terrible choices. Daryl W. Perry was up there, which I kind of want to get him on the show. Daryl, if you listen to this show, please send us a message.
Yeah, either telling us that you'd love to come on or tell us to fuck off.
We'll wait. Okay, time's up. Anyways, this isn't live. There's no way that he heard this. Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, there is a way.
Yeah.
He works for the NSA, in which case he was a terrible choice for the Libertarian Party. No, but
not as bad as Gary Johnson.
It's hard for me to be serious about the Libertarian Party, dude, because they keep selecting people who I don't give a shit about. I mean, number one, this was the first year that we got the opportunity to vote for a Libertarian, right?
Yep.
In Oklahoma.
Yep.
And we didn't. You know why?
Nope. Because they suck.
They sucked, dude.
Because the greatest contributor to the Libertarian Party currently is in the Republican Party, and he's retired.
Yeah.
You fucking kidding me?
Literally, he is out. He is no longer in. He's out. He's gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why would we?
And he's still a Republican.
Yeah, that's another thing. Well, he does have a lifetime membership to the Libertarian Party because he did run for Libertarian Party president one time.
So does that mean Gary Johnson and Bill Weld now have lifetime memberships to the LP?
Bill Weld, I'm pretty sure he does, and I'm pretty sure he was gifted it. So,
hey, Bill Weld, you suck, bro. You suck.
Yeah, he does really suck. He's here vouching for Hillary Clinton. Oh wait, I forgot. He's both of those guys. We don't need to worry about him anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, I'm pretty sure that Bill Weld is going to pop his head around politics again. I think this was all a setup. I really do, for him.
Bill Weld?
Yeah, because look at the Democrat Party. Who do they have who's willing to run? Maybe Elizabeth Warren?
Yeah.
That's about it, you know.
That is a good point. That's a conspiracy theory.
They need somebody. And they got Bill Weld. William Weld. Infowars.com.
Yeah, and you know, man.
I mean, what should let's get into this. What should the Libertarian Party do? They need to stick to the principles, right? I mean, that's the thing that gets to me. Like, they need to, if I was them, I would be going to the people who are getting the most traction with people as libertarians are people like Jason Stapleton, part of the problem. I mean, Doug Stanhope, you know, like, he's sort of libertarian. You know, he's a pretty cool guy. He's a comedian. Go to people like, you know, Free Talk Live. Go to these places. What is it that we need? I mean, they should already know, first of all. But if they can't figure it out, go to these guys. Ask them what they're interested in seeing going. You know, running for the Libertarian Party. You know what I mean?
I mean, at the very least, maybe they can see if Reince Priebus is available to help run the LP. Because
he's more libertarian than Bill Weld and Gary Johnson.
Yeah, and he's way better at running a political party than the hacks.
Well, I mean, Kennedy, Judge Napolitano, I mean, you name it. All these people, they're more libertarian. They have more libertarianism in them than freaking Bill Weld and Gary Johnson have in their little finger, you know?
Yeah.
It's like I said the last episode, that it's funny because Gary Johnson, you said this, Gary Johnson did more for the liberty, running an edible company
than he did running for president.
Yeah. And I said, that's because he wasn't a politician. Like, he did more running as not a politician, and which confirms kind of like my biases as far as like anarchism and stuff like that working inside the system doesn't really work. But at the same time, like, if we're going to have an LP, they should be putting forth libertarians to talk about libertarianism. Yeah. You know,
they should make greater effort to be more legit LP than the state level.
Right. Exactly.
Like, and that probably means a smaller organization at the national level.
Right.
And a few, like a handful of bullet points that they stick to based off of libertarian principles. That's it. Period.
Right.
And when they vet candidates for president and VP picks, if they don't adhere to those
the non-aggression principle comes down to one thing:
baking those goddamn cakes.
No, that's a negative. That's just Gary Johnson.
Oh, my bad.
It's like he didn't even read the platform at all. Okay, it's like he did not even read the platform at all, because the whole time libertarians who like worked for the organization were watching them, like radicals were watching them, going, What are you saying?
Yep.
You sound worse than a liberal. Oh my God, you sound worse than a right-wing lunatic. And then they kept using the whole phrase, we're fiscally conservative and socially liberal. That's what libertarianism is. No, guys, that's not what libertarianism is. That's a moderate.
Yeah.
Moderate. That's what a moderate is.
The sad fact of the matter is that the LP was handed a once-in-a-century opportunity,
and they squandered it.
Yep, with the Democratic Party as just dysfunctional as they were, and then the Republican Party with Donald Trump, and as early on as people were unsatisfied and didn't like Donald Trump, and then as it got going, then he started attracting more people. But they had an opportunity, man, and they blew it big time. Like, man. Like,
what a waste.
What a freaking
what a
waste.
bunch of pieces of shit. So to me, it's like, from my perspective, what I'm going to do for the Libertarian Party is I'm not going to join it.
Yep.
And I'm not. I mean, the most that I'm going to do is do this show, and if they want to listen and get an idea of what they should think about and say about freaking politicians or policies, they can.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. I mean, I'm not going to go out on a limb and try to help them out. Okay.
Yep. I was thinking. Originally, I was going to stay a registered Republican till the end of the presidential election, and I was thinking about changing my registration to the LP. Not going to do it.
But see, you could actually do more good as a Republican and bringing liberty to the Republican Party than you could being in the Libertarian Party.
Yeah.
I know that sounds stupid. I'm just saying that, like, in Oklahoma, you pretty much get squelched out. You know,
yeah.
Like, did you see that thing that I sent you? I sent you a message on Facebook. Somebody in the Libertarian Party of Oklahoma was asking for help in Norman, going door to door because there's just a Democrat running.
Oh, no.
And a Libertarian.
Yeah, I did see it. I didn't read it, though. But.
Yeah, basically asking for help going door to door. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. Like, it's no offense. Like, probably on the state level, this is probably worthwhile on the state level. It probably is.
Yeah.
But I'm so, like, at this point, everybody
even when you knock on someone's door and be like, hey, I'm here representing so-and-so of the Libertarian Party. People are going to instantly
think Gary
Johnson and Bill Weld.
They're going to think, try to spit out of my mouth.
Try to undo that damage that they did on the national level to help perpetuate it at the local level. You might as well just run as a Republican and be like, look, I'm like
Ron Paul.
Yeah.
I know, like, and even that might be hard for people to grasp because you've already gotten to the point where Ron Paul is like back burner. Nobody gives a shit anymore. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because he's out of the...
Like, Ron Paul, I actually found tweets and Facebook things that I posted like a few years ago. No, it was like during the last presidential election, right? When Ron Paul was like killing it on stage, and I was like, you could see me transforming into liking him, like going from like, wow, you are insane, we have to kill Muslims in foreign countries, you know, to like, holy shit, this makes sense. You know what I mean? Like,
we don't have to kill Muslims,
right? Because there was that moment, I don't know if it was 12 or 8, where Giuliani came out and said like, he's crazy. You know, like he said something about like foreign policy or something. He was like, yes. Like Ron Paul just responded, yes, you're right. That's what I think. And Giuliani was like, and everybody was cheering because it was filled with Ron Paul supporters. I can't remember what it was. It was something like, you know, because there's these libertarian positions where people are like, you can't possibly want to legalize all drugs. And you're like, yeah, no, that's what I want to do. It's none of your goddamn business what I put in my body.
Yeah.
I just love that. See, that's what we need. We don't need Gary Johnson saying, no, just pretty much just marijuana.
Yeah.
You know, I say we. I don't even mean we because I'm not going to, I'm not doing this anymore.
And really, to be a successful Republican, at least at the state level, you stick to the like a few of the traditional big major pillars of the Republican Party.
Yeah.
And you can get elected.
Right.
As long as
you just say small government.
Yeah. 5% lower taxes.
Oh, thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you so much.
And with some of your contributions, we've been able to get new equipment. We have new equipment for when we're in person. So I hope that it sounds good. I hope that you feel good. I hope you look good.
I hope
what are you
the
wearing?
sounds of freedom and liberty are just oozing into your ear holes.
Yeah, just like the shit
creamy.
oozing out of my asshole.
Oh, gross. God damn it, that's so fucking gross. Anyways, thank you so much for listening to Liberty Lampoon. Remember to check us out at libertylampoon.com.
You can find all of our socials there.
As well as check out our Patreon site at patreon.com/Liberty Lampoon. Until next time, remember to be free and don't tug on me.
Don't tug on me.